The Los Angeles Lakers finished the preseason 0-6. No wins, 6 losses. The trio of Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook is expected to form one of the NBA's top contenders this year, and the Lakers are seemingly the favorites to come out of the Western Conference. So is losing all of your preseason games worrying? Do preseason games indicate anything about how good a team is in the regular season and beyond? Let's investigate. Sit back, relax, and take this in. This episode is presented by Advil, fast pain relief you can trust. And before we start, be sure to hit that subscribe button for us. We're on our way to 80,000 subscribers, and we want you to be a part of that. Now let's get started. The Lakers posted the worst record of any team in the NBA during exhibition play, losing all 6 of their games by an average of 15 points per game. But the thing is, the preseason is used by teams in a multitude of ways, figuring out final roster spots, sorting out rotations, and getting some of the veterans a much-needed warm-up before the start of an 82-game regular season haul. That's why Anthony Davis only played in 4 of the contests, Westbrook in 5, and James in only 3. And that's a perfect segue into Take This In trivia presented by Advil, fast pain relief you can trust. When was the last time the Lakers finished the preseason without a win? The answer is the 2012-2013 season, when the Lakers introduced the star-studded team that featured Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and new acquisitions Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, and still went 0-8 through exhibition play. That season, as Lakers fans will remember, didn't end too well. Despite their offseason additions, the lack of depth showed during the regular season when the Lakers went 45-37, with Bryant rupturing his Achilles late in the season and Los Angeles being swept in the first round. And on the surface, it's easy to compare the two teams. Both made big moves in the offseason. Both are relying on older veterans to round out their already aging core. Both had questions about fit and how it would work on the court as well. But should Lakers fans be concerned? According to ESPN's Kevin Pelton, point differential is the big factor when looking at how predictive the preseason is. Since the 2004-2005 season, on average, teams with a minus 15 point differential in the preseason, like this year's Lakers team and the 2013 Lakers, would finish the regular season 33-49. However, this season's Lakers squad also boasts the 3rd highest over-under win total for most sportsbooks, which has also been a good data point for predicting regular season records. When you look at preseason point differential, only for teams with an over-under line of 50 plus wins, there's very little that can be said about how predictive the preseason is, as this graph by Pelton shows us. It's also worth noting that in the 3 games that LeBron played, he only played a total of 73 minutes of an available 144, in which the Lakers were a plus 17 on the court with him. Essentially, when LeBron plays, the Lakers are good.
Stating the obvious, but thank you.
James himself doesn't seem too worried about the Lakers' preseason record, laughing at the notion that they mattered in a recent press conference. The LA Clippers lost all their preseason games over the last 2 seasons and went on to win 54 and 56 regular season games respectively. If this year's preseason doesn't matter much for the Lakers, who might it tell us more about? NBA analyst Steph No did find that over the last 15 years, teams who owned at least a 17.5 point differential all ended up winning between 44 and 59 games that season. It could be a good sign for the Mavericks, Bulls, and Suns, who all posted a point differential higher than 17.5. In the case of the Lakers, you can chalk up the rough season to the fact that they're introducing 7 new players onto the team. 3 of them suffered injuries in the preseason that resulted in the Lakers being forced to play their G League and end-of-bench guys more often. And head coach Frank Vogel is still trying to figure out if he wants to play Anthony Davis at center or play him alongside DeAndre Jordan or Dwight Howard. And the team was still very good when their core trio, especially James, wanted to play. I guess the only question would be, are they going to be too reliant on those 3 come regular season? Only time will tell, but for now, I wouldn't worry about it, Lakers fans.